A parenting expert evaluates Kourtney Kardashian's best and worst moments as a mother, highlighting everything from her embarrassing, public displays of affection to the ways in which she outshines Kim. Hi, before we continue, please subscribe to the channel for all Kardashians news and updates. Kourtney Kardashian has always been a public figure, but when she became a mother, her life took on an entirely new meaning. The oldest of the Kardashian-Jenner sisters, she was the first in the family to have a baby back in 2009. Since then, she has embraced motherhood in every way, often sharing her parenting journey with the world. Over the years, she has faced both praise and criticism for her choices as a mom. Some people see her as devoted, loving, and intentional, while others argue that some of her parenting habits might actually cause problems for her kids in the long run. Now, parenting experts are weighing in, analyzing both her best and worst mom moments, and pointing out what she does well and where she might be going wrong. Kourtney is now 45 years old and the proud mother of 4 children. With her ex-partner Scott Disick, she has 3 kids, Mason, who is now 14, Penelope, who is 12, and Rain, who is 9. Most recently, in November 2023, she welcomed another son, Rocky 13, with her husband Travis Barker. For Kourtney, having Rocky at this stage of her life felt almost miraculous. She described her midlife pregnancy as being part of God's plan. She explained in an interview with Vanity Fair Italia that she and Travis had been trying to have a baby but eventually decided to stop putting so much pressure on themselves. In her words, "I kept telling Travis if we're meant to have a baby, then it's just going to happen. And so it was when we stopped forcing the process, then it happened." That relaxed and faith-driven approach reflects how Kourtney sees her family life, trusting that what is meant to be will naturally fall into place. After Rocky was born, Kourtney posted on Instagram about how meaningful motherhood is to her, describing it as the most important job in the world. She makes it clear that above all her other roles, reality TV star, businesswoman, celebrity, being a mom is what she values most. Travis Barker, her husband, already had children of his own before marrying Kourtney. He shares 2 children with his ex-wife Shanna Moakler, a son, Landon, who is now 20, and a daughter, Alabama, who is 18. He is also stepdad to Shanna's daughter Adiana de la Hoya, who is 25. This means Kourtney and Travis now have a blended family, full of kids of all different ages and stages. Kourtney has spoken about how she tries to make time for each of them individually. She explained to People magazine that since she has kids ranging from infants to adults, she feels it is very important to carve out one-on-one time with each child. She doesn't want to miss any moment of their growth and experiences. She admitted it sometimes feels like being pulled in multiple directions, but it is worth it because she wants every child to feel valued. But even though Kourtney often speaks openly about her love for being a mom, not everyone agrees with her parenting style. She has faced criticism on social media and from parenting professionals. Some of the backlash has been about the way she and Travis show public affection, which some people think is too much when kids are around. Others question the strict diet rules she has for her children or her decision to co-sleep with them. Parenting expert Kirsty Ketley, for example, believes that while some of Kourtney's choices are good, others might create challenges for her kids in the future. One of the most debated aspects of her parenting is her style of attachment parenting. This is a philosophy where parents stay very emotionally and physically close to their children. It often includes practices like responding immediately to every cry, baby wearing, feeding on demand, co-bathing, and co-sleeping. For many moms, this feels natural and helps create deep connections. Kourtney herself has said that this style of parenting makes her and her kids feel super connected. The goal of attachment parenting is to form strong emotional bonds so children grow up feeling secure and able to build healthy relationships later in life. However, not everyone supports this method. For example, Kourtney has faced criticism for sharing that she co-sleeps with her children. While she believes it helps her stay close to them, the American Academy of Pediatrics does not recommend co-sleeping, especially with infants, because of safety risks. Infant sleep expert Natalie Navarez has said that Kourtney might be doing this more for her own sense of comfort than for the children's well-being. She suggested it could be that Kourtney fears losing the bond if she lets them sleep separately. Some critics argue that attachment parenting sometimes prioritizes the parent's needs over what is actually best for the child. It can also lead to children becoming too dependent on their parents, struggling with independence later in life. Another risk is the pressure it puts on parents. Meeting every single need, day and night, can leave parents exhausted, stressed, and even resentful. Despite that, it is clear Kourtney genuinely values closeness with her kids, and compared to her sisters, she is often described as more laid back. For instance, when Penelope turned 12, Kourtney chose a simple, low-key birthday celebration instead of the grand, extravagant parties her family is known for. This shows she tries not to get caught up in appearances and instead focuses on what feels meaningful for her children. Experts point out that there is a healthy balance here. It is good for children to feel emotionally close to their parents, but they also need boundaries, structure, and independence to feel secure and confident as they grow. Another area of debate is Kourtney's rules about food. She is very dedicated to wellness and healthy living, which she extends to her kids. She has been vocal about cutting gluten, dairy, and sugar from their diets, and she avoids giving them junk food altogether. While her intentions are clearly about keeping them healthy, some experts warn this approach could actually have negative effects. Completely banning foods can make kids more curious and rebellious. When they are away from their parents, they might sneak those foods or even overindulge. In the long run, it can create a complicated relationship with food, leading to feelings of guilt, shame, or unhealthy eating habits. Experts say it is better to avoid labeling foods as good or bad. Children benefit from learning the nutritional value of different foods and how each helps their body grow and function. That way, they can make balanced choices on their own. Instead of completely banning treats, it can be healthier to allow them occasionally, so kids learn moderation rather than restriction. If food is too heavily controlled, the risk is that kids might end up seeing it as a forbidden temptation, which can cause them to struggle with balance later in life. At the same time, it is easy to understand why Kourtney feels strongly about food. She has been very open about her own wellness journey and how she tries to live a healthier lifestyle. She likely wants to pass those values on to her children, which is a positive thing. However, parenting experts caution against making kids follow the exact same strict diet as adults, since children need a wide range of nutrients to thrive. The healthier approach is teaching kids why certain foods are better choices, while still letting them enjoy a piece of cake or some chips occasionally without guilt. Kourtney Kardashian is clearly a loving and devoted mother who prioritizes her family above all else. Thanks for watching. Please do well to share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Kardashian updates.